Moon platoon AMC was up 25% just 2 days ago, and now it's a second day of seeing red. We are currently down 8.5%, coming up with less than 100 million volume, and currently we have a potential bounce off of this red line, this critical level of support. We were bounced here twice in the morning and at night. If you guys want to watch this video to the end, take a look at why short interest we are reporting on Ortex is not being calculated right now, as well as a question from Jared, what percent of the float do we own now? How much room do the hedgies have to maneuver with shorts? That question is going to be a tough one. Also, for the fact that we had our share count a month and a half ago, we learned that we control the float. 80% at least of the float is being held by 4.1 million retail traders. So the year of the retail trader, indeed. Let's walk through this video. If it doesn't have 3,900 likes on it yet, make sure that you contribute, get the word out to as many Moon Platoon members as possible, and for this low price of $0. So smash it, comment out which one you are, and let's answer the question of rehypothecation. How much wiggle room do the hedge funds have? What kind of traps do we expect that they could still pull? When you think about the chain of rehypothecation, or recursively shorting one share of a stock, that is how you can get above 100% ownership of a stock without naked shorting. You don't even have to. All you have to do is consider that each person on the way, right, of a rehypothecation chain is someone who could lend out their shares. So if you have turned off share lending, yep, this is part of the video here, you would be a, let's say, blue dot instead. So we have a blue dot here, a blue dot here. These are all places where people have turned off the ability for brokers to make money off of your shares. Let's say that only one of these people even has a share. Let's say it's this one. Okay, from this dot, if they haven't turned off share lending, could easily go to this person, this one share that the first person owns, and then borrowed from this person can go here, and then quickly it can have a cascade where every single person that we have tied a red line to owns the same share that the first guy does. However, if you try to lend it sell it to a person here, if you short a person to already has short lending turned off, you get cut off. None of these people are affected downstream. Go here, come here, you're cut off, right? So all of these people downstream get a real bona fide share instead of one that has been shorted. Now, all that said, every share is an obligation to deliver. So it doesn't matter what you have in your account, whether it's a shorted share or not. Even if it's a naked shorted share, it's still a deed to a Lambo. So that's what you guys are holding on to. In the Lambo analogy, each of these shares would be associated with a car waiting for you in a garage. But when you rehypothecate, you are selling the same deed to multiple people, and when you are naked shorting, you don't even have a car in the garage to begin with. Let's talk about the fact that we ran a pretty perfectly developed set of intraday patterns. These are all bearish, so this is a great learning opportunity. When you were able to see the top of this at 39.30, drop all the way down to 37.18, you're going to have to identify a couple of these bearish patterns. One, you can identify that there is a flag here, right? Flags are two parallel trend lines of increasing supports and resistances, right? And this could be right before an uptrend or right after a downtrend. So this is increasing support and resistance, which means that this is a bearish flag coming from a downtrend. The price action is going to be bouncing in between these levels here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down through this bottom of the flag here, where we were able to identify an even cleaner and better defined flag right below it. So we can draw the same red lines here. I've already drawn them in Webull itself. And then you can track the price. One confirmation, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Once you get to the 9 confirmations, you're pretty much guaranteed to drop through. At this point, you even notice the price action tried to retake inside the flag. no dice, and then fizzled downward. So that series of minor bearish signals would be able to then aggregate together to form one large set of a reverse. Sorry, this is a normal head and shoulders, not a reverse head and shoulders. You can see that there are symmetrical sides here and here. We can consider that this part is the symmetrical shoulder. Either way, you would be able to see a major profit seeking and singular high, and then two smaller highs that descend together. AMC was put through the ringer today, but at the end of the day, it doesn't seem like it is underneath where we bounced from in the 31s. That is where we lit the flame and brought ourselves from a double bottom. So remember that that macro price action, that pattern is something that we're still going to have to track and watch on a larger scale. That's for sure. Okay, so the next thing that I would be able to try to bring you guys attention to is the options chain. We were looking at a potential gamma trap earlier. So you go down to options Sonar, and then you take a look at the options chain from yesterday. You would have seen $10 million at around 35 and on $9 million at 40. So that's a composite 20 million roughly calls right at the $35 and $40 strikes, right? This outweighs a potential delta hedging, any potential delta hedging from $10 million worth at $50 strike. Compare that to today and you'll find much more battleground. $4 million of puts to exactly $4 million worth of calls at the $40 strike. This supports the theory of married put conversions, where people are buying slightly out of the money calls, and then a market maker or someone else on the other side buys the exact same put just to hedge against you, exercises those puts immediately. It actually ends up mathematically the same effect as a short, and you didn't even have to locate any shares. You just had to bet against the person that you see on your platform buy a call from you. So married put conversions we've covered in more depth in other videos. I just wanted to also be able to point out to you that the technical analysis that we just did, you can see similar trends on right here in the Lux algorithm charts, right? We saw this a very similar down strong sell signal. Pull this over here. We also saw that same uplift buy, the same head and shoulders here. Right at the top of the right side of the shoulder, we had a strong sell, and you would have been able to figure that out by yourself for the rest. The Lux algorithm is running out of its 20% off. I'm trying to renegotiate and make sure that you guys have access to that. Hey, you made it to the end of the video, so I want to give you guys a surprise. I announced at the end of the live stream that I have a new job. Right, so now I'm gonna have to start probably working around 9 a.m.-ish PST, which means that I'm gonna be with you guys in the morning, but for roughly half the time. So I'll still be starting those live streams at the bell, but we won't be able to make it to power hour. I will always be streaming when there's immense price action, so you guys can still slam that bell to make sure that you don't miss out when the price starts running and it's outside of those specified times. I really do appreciate you guys for being part of the show. Thanks to those of you who support the show with money all the way down in the Patreon section or down with the join button. You got access to my 6-figure portfolio on SoFi, and you can also send $50 to invest in whatever you want for free with the SoFi link down below, as well as get 2 free stocks on Webull, 4 free stocks on Moo, and $250 of free Bitcoin with the BlockFi link description. All 4 of those things are all down in the description. Thanks so much for watching this show. We'll see you guys tomorrow bright and early for the last bell to bell live stream. We'll still be doing live streams, but that's the last one that's going to start at the bell and end at the bell, at least for the foreseeable future. Thanks so much, and we'll see you in the money. Peace.